I call this meeting to order. Do I have to do that again? I would ask that any member declare pecuniary interest for the agenda of this meeting or for a previous meeting that they were not in attendance. Hearing none, I would also ask that you flick that nice little button on your phones or whatever.
Oh,
And we'll move right along to item 3.1. Moved by Councillor Moda, seconded by Councillor Goodwillie. Resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Red Lake consider bylaw number 772017 as read without amendment or debate a first and second time. All in favor? Carried. And moved by Councillor Goodwillie, seconded by Councillor Barron. Resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Red Lake hereby consider bylaw 772017 as read a third time and passed. Anyone have any questions, discussion? This is concerning the Block G one. It's gonna go quick. Okay, all in favor? Carried. Item 3.2, moved by Councillor Moda, seconded by Councillor Barron. Resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Red Lake hereby consider bylaw number 782017 as read without amendment or debate a first and second time. All in favor? Carried. And further to that, moved by Councillor Goodwillie, seconded by Councillor Moda. Resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Red Lake hereby consider bylaw number 78-2017 as read a third time and passed. This is regarding the transfer of the easement from the hospital. Any questions, discussion? Councillor Barron?
can you tell me some idea of where this is? I know it's an easement, but where is it? Which side is it on?
It's the clinic
Like the-
property, is it?
Yeah, it's
The
the
clinic?
medical center property, so it's so that, because our services run basically right down the middle for the most part.
But
So this will grant us access to our services.
okay,
Just so nobody can build over top of them. or-
okay. Thank you.
Any further questions? Just to make it sound good, since there's no questions, I call the question. All in favor? Carried. Item 3.3, staff report regarding the RFP for the wastewater systems effluent regulation feasibility study. Any questions, discussion? Councilor Moe.
Just a question on the cost recovery of this one and 3.5 that's going to be coming up. And I don't know if we can lump them all into one. I'm just looking at it's a 10-year through our infrastructure renewal fees, user fees. Is this standard that the municipality's done before in cost recovery?
Correct, yes. The treasurer.
Okay, the infrastructure renewal fees are calculated annually for the tariff of fees to cover the principal and interest components of our capital water or sewer program fees for that particular year.
But it's going to take 10 years, though, to recover these costs. So I'm just thinking if there's other costs associated further down the road next year or the year after, is that going to add on to the 10 years? So for argument's sake, in 2 years from now, it's going to take another 10 years, or?
No, the 10 years is the term of the loan for this particular project. If there's operating costs, then that's part of the cubic meter fee later.
For the tariff and fees?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? I have one. The estimate About $30,000. Where did that come from?
It's typical of the previous studies that we have done. They're similar to this project, and the budget price, or the quoted price came in slightly higher.
50% higher.
Yes.
So if this wasn't done, what would it cause in the way of problems, if any?
Aside from the money, aside from the loss of the grant,
Yeah,
Yeah, we would be losing the grant support of roughly $23,000. We have the requirement by 2021 to find a solution for our current method of treating effluent by chlorinating. So we have to come up with a solution before that time and budget for the capital money to retrofit the plant to no longer chlorinate. And there's many different methods to go about that, but this study investigates the current operation of the plant and comes up with the most feasible solution.
because we've gone from a grant that was 75% of the original estimated value to a grant that's less than 50% of the actual cost. Which is just a bit of a difference. Councilor Moore.
Would the money we'd be on the hook for, that 23 or 24,000, whatever it is that out of the 2018 budget then? Or is that something that's maneuvered in this budget here?
It was part of the 2017 capital budget.
And there's room for that?
So overall with CWWF and the grants we did receive, there was 6 projects. If you took what all of the projects came in at and were able to juggle the money around between projects, we were budgeted properly. But the challenge is with right now is with Infrastructure Canada and moving the money around to support this project. Because there isn't a scope change or anything different with what we originally requested in the RFP, we can't transfer the additional money over to budget for this project.
So this is a shortfall then?
This is a shortfall. It came in higher than what was estimated, and we won't get any additional funds for this. So what we have is the $23,000 in funding to go ahead with this project, and
Which is grant money, right?
grant money.
And then we're on the hook for, as Councilor Middleton, Deputy Mayor Middleton was saying, it's now 50%, not 75, so.
Right now, we're dealing with this having to be completed before March 31st, so it's kind of that, we're at that point to make a decision whether to move ahead with it or not.
So if we decided not to move forward with it, we're still gonna have to do something by 2021 anyways, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And if we turn this down, we're gonna lose this grant money. We don't know what the future holds.
correct.
Okay.
Well, will these grants still be available next year, say?
Yeah, it's every year, but we don't know if we get approved on it. We were, and the infrastructure development coordinators had a lot of dialogue with the CWWF because you're allotted a certain amount of money, but they have very tight guidelines on moving money because at the end of the day, and correct me if I'm wrong, but looking at all those 6 projects, we're right around that allotted amount, but they won't let us move money around. They're saying, no, you said it was this amount for this particular project, you're only getting, this certain dollar amount. And it's not 75%, you're getting 50% in this case here.
So it's 50 cent dollars really for us.
the next staff report that we look at, there is a scope change there. We had a non-compliance issue with the Madsen plant last year, and in the optional items of this RFP, we added in for the flow monitors and alarms for Coagulant, and because that is a scope change as an optional item, they are considering that. But again, we probably won't hear till late December whether or not that 75% can be topped up. And if we don't get started now, we won't meet the deadline of March 31st to complete the project.
So ultimately, this extra, what, $16,000 on this project anyway, will be in next year's budget?
Yes, because we're at the point where we're not going to complete this in 2017. It was budgeted in this year. Will be done before the March 31st deadline. It'll be paid for in 2018. The project's budgeting will be moved to 2018.
And all of these projects, with the exception of one, will flow into 2018, will they not?
Yes, the next staff report we talk about is the combination of 3 projects because one contractor is in the same line of work. The ones that are being completed this year and were previously approved was the tender ready drawings project, and the other one was it wasn't an RFP, it was under the value of $75,000, so it was the pump rebuild for Koshner, which was also part of the CWWF grant.
Councilor?
Sorry, I'm confused. I'm going to ask just for clarification purposes. When I asked earlier, I thought this was a shortfall for the 2017 budget, that we're going to have to find this money. But listening to this conversation, I'm now thinking it's in the 2018 budget this is going to come out. So just for clarification, can I just hear which one it is, just to be sure?
So it was originally, these projects were originally in the 2017 budget.
Correct.
Based on timing, and a lot had to do with the fact that we were going back and forth with CWWF because of the shortfalls. But this will all flow into 2018, so it will be 2018 budget items, yes.
So this will be showing in the 2018 budget when it's coming
Yeah.
forward.
Correct.
Transfer of
There
funds.
was only one project that was completed of the 6 and 17.
Do you have a copy of the report?
Of the report,
The second page, item D.
understand that, but when I asked earlier, my belief was it was a shortfall. So
Well,
I
it's
thought
what?
it was coming.
It is a shortfall for the 2017 budget amount, but it's,
That's why I was asking on clarification purposes, even though I saw that. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? Moved by Councillor Barron, seconded by Councillor Mota. Resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Red Lake hereby approves staff report IDC 2017-004 regarding the RFP award to Hatch Corporation for the wastewater systems effluent regulation study. All in favor? Any opposed? Carried. Moved by Councillor Goodwillie, seconded by Councillor Barron. Resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Red Lake hereby consider bylaw number 79-2017 as read without amendment or debate a first and second time. All in favor? Carried. And moved by Councillor Barron, seconded by Councillor Mota. Resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Red Lake hereby consider bylaw number 79-2017 as read a third time and passed. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor? Carried. Item 3.5, staff report regarding the RFP water and wastewater facilities control replacement, which is the second of the two. Any questions or comments? Councillor Mota.
I'm gonna probably say the same thing over again, aren't I? But it's all gonna be coming out of the 2018 budget. Okay.
Any other questions or comments? Moved by Councillor Goodwillie, seconded by Councillor Mota. Resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Red Lake hereby approves staff report IDC 2017-005 regarding the RFP award to J. Hart Enterprises Limited for the water and wastewater facilities control replacement. All in favor? Carried. And further to that, moved by Councillor Mota, seconded by Councillor Goodwillie. Resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Red Lake hereby consider bylaw number 80-2017 as read, without amendment or debate a first and second time. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried.
Now we're gonna take water after a while. Wastewater.
Moved by Councillor Mota, seconded by Councillor Barron. Resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Red Lake hereby consider bylaw number 80-2017 as read the third time it passed.
Yeah, that was first and second, that's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
All in favor? Thank you. And that brings us right down to 3.7.
Want to just do the operative calls?
Moved by Councillor Mota, seconded by Councillor Goodwillie. This is concerning the proposed public health boundary changes. Therefore, be it resolved that the municipality of Red Lake supports the opposition and concerns expressed by the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, AMO, the Association of Local Public Health Agencies, ALPHA, Alpha, and the Northwestern Health Unit. And be it further resolved, the council directs staff to forward a certified true copy of this resolution to most of the government. I won't read out all the names. And that pretty well says the same thing the AMO and the one other group said, that this board of experts may not be as expert as they think. Any questions or comments on that? All in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Mota, seconded by Councillor Barron. Resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Red Lake hereby adjourns a special meeting at 4:49 p.m. All in favor?